Hey guys, today we're doing a review of the Troubadour Apex Backpack 4.0. Last year, we reviewed the 3.0, thought it was a really cool bag with its fair share of pros and cons, so I'm really excited to dig into the 4.0 today. In this video, we're gonna take my experience of reviewing bags for the past almost 7 years, and we're gonna tear this thing apart. We're gonna pack it out and show you everything it fits. We're gonna double check the advertised volume, and I'm gonna give you my brutally honest pros and cons so you can know if this bag is worth it or if it's a ripoff. And if you're in the market for a bag, you're definitely gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video. There, I'll make 2 alternative bag recommendations in case you're not quite feeling the Apex from Troubadour. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about the gist of the Troubadour Apex 4.0 backpack. Troubadour is a British company, and they're really interesting because they're gaining quite a reputation for themselves, making this really high quality, sophisticated gear. In fact, this backpack was recently awarded by Wirecutter as the best laptop backpack of 2025. But I'll be honest, I've read a lot of Wirecutter's best bag lists, and a lot of them suck. They don't know bags, not the way that we do, humble brag. We reviewed a lot, right? So let me show you some of the top features of this bag and we can kind of start breaking it down. It's got an aesthetic that can only be defined as sophisticated. This bag is just beautiful. We got a quick access pocket in the front, one zippered pocket on the side, and then a non-zippered pocket on the opposite side. We've got a very beautiful and very well organized main compartment, which I have some thoughts on. I'll be honest, it's not my favorite. And I'll tell you why in detail 2 chapters from now. A separate laptop compartment in the back, a luggage pass-through holder that I really, really like. I'll tell you why 3 chapters from now. And a quick access shoulder strap pocket. The Apex is advertised at 22 liters capacity, but here at Nomads Nation, we always double check this. All right, now that the bag's fully packed out, let's do a quick dimension check. We got a height of 17 inches, a width of 12 inches, and a fully packed out depth of around 7 inches. Now, when it comes to measuring volume, it's a bit more of an art than it is a science. As you can see, we just filled out the main compartment. We didn't fill out any other compartments because they're just so tight. I mean, when the main compartment is fully decked out, there's not really much capacity here. You do get a bit on the side, but we're just talking about a couple extra liters. The main compartment will tell the majority of the story. Okay, we're looking at 5, 10, 15 liters capacity, which confirms my suspicions after wearing this bag for the past few days that it does not feel like a 22 liter. It does feel like a 15 to 17 liter, somewhere in that range. Like I said, technically we didn't measure this pocket, which does have a little bit of space to it, nor do we measure the tech compartment. But the thing with tech compartments, and this one in particular, is it's extremely thin. So when the main compartment is packed out, you're not getting any extra volume in there, minus what you can just squeeze your laptop in. So coming from a guy who's reviewed and used a lot of bags, the Troubadour Apex is advertised at 22 liters, but it's definitely gonna carry more like 17 liters. Troubadour claims this bag weighs 2.6 pounds, and I'm getting 2.6 pounds on the dot on scale number 1. And 2.6 pounds on scale number 2. As of recording, the Apex comes in 5 different color options. And there's also a smaller size, that's the compact Apex. The bag is pretty well padded, so it maintains its shape whether it's empty or full. You can kind of flatten it like that if you want. So this is what it would look like at its most flat. This is what it looks like when it's properly fluffed out. And this is what it looks like when it's fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. Margaret's 5'2", I'm 5'8", and Jason Bagmoa is 6'1". And remember, we're gonna pack out this bag throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. When it comes to a warranty, Troubadour offers a 5-year guarantee protecting you against manufacturing defects. And for all that, the bag runs around 250 USD. Now that price point is going to be our North Star moving forward. The entire review will be built around that so you can know if this bag is worth the price or not. But just so you know, if at any point during this review you're thinking about making a purchase or you want to find out more information, we highly suggest doing so with the first link in the description below. 2 reasons why. The first reason is that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best bag and gear reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Okay, let's talk about the front of the Troubadour Apex backpack. First up, we kick this section off by talking about the aesthetic, and I think that sophisticated just kind of nails it, but it's not sophisticated in an old way. Not like your grandfather's like sophisticated, leather backpack that matches his 3-piece suit and the watch coming out of the pocket. It's not like that. But it's got class to it in a way that's quite modernized. And the bag's really got its own vibe. It's got a really unique shape. These panels are interesting. So I really commend Troubadour for kind of just doing their own thing. And one big thing contributing to this bag's sophisticated aesthetic are the materials being used, which on one hand I like, but on the other hand I don't. I like them because, well, some of them are really high quality. This fabric here feels very nice. It feels abrasion resistant, it feels weather resistant. But the thing that I don't like is I don't know what these materials and fabrics actually are. As they don't seem to be on the website, or if they are on the website, they're very hidden. All that I can find about this primary fabric is that it's a 40 weave fabric. I don't know what that means. And I've reviewed a lot of bags and seen a lot of fabrics. I assume it's some sort of nylon polyester blend. And it's really nice, don't get me wrong, but I just don't know what it is. And I'm spending 250 bucks on this bag. I want to understand kind of what I'm investing in. The other thing I'm not quite as sure about is what's going on with this secondary fabric. I assume we can probably just all be honest and say it's a faux leather. It's some sort of vegan leather, which is basically plastic. Yeah, there's no leather scent going on here. That did not pass the leather smell test. Now, the thing with PU leathers like this is that they look beautiful and they're very nice to the touch. And honestly, they usually last a long time, but it depends on the supplier. You just need to be aware that sometimes a fabric like this might peel, just depending on how much exposure to humidity and sunlight it gets. Now, we only have one pocket on the front of the bag, which is this guy right here. Troubadour is using a very nice fake leather pull tab. And you know, I can't remember if Troubadour uses YKK. Yes, they do. These are YKK zippers, best zippers in the game. But the zippers are also PU coated. That's this plastic coating right here, which means that they're gonna be not very smooth to open and to close, but they will provide extra weather protection, but they also could peel over time. Again, depends on how much exposure to moisture, sunlight, humidity. There's no way to know for sure, but at 250 bucks, it's definitely something that you need to be aware of. Now, this pocket is pretty tight. That's for two reasons. One, it's only just a little bit under 7 inches wide, which, you know, I'm 5'8", my hands aren't huge. Just means like getting in and out is just gonna be a little bit tight. But also, just look at the way that this is constructed. So this bag has a lot of padding. And padding is great for an aesthetic. And look at how well this bag itself stands. We'll talk about that in a bit more detail in the next chapter. So padding really helps with those two things. But for front pockets like this, a lot of padding can really make it restrictive and difficult to get in and out of, and compromise its packing capacity overall. But this is a great pocket because you got some hidden gems in there, such as this little AirTag slot, got a key leash, and the pocket is lined with a super sexy microfiber material. Could be a good spot for your AirPods. The pocket drops down to right about here, so it's got a little bit of space in case you want to put something bulkier in there as well. Quick access for your gum. Perfecto. Now I think that should do it on the front of the bag, but let's kind of get into the meat and potatoes now. Talk about some of the most important features of the Troubadour Apex and jump into the middle of the bag. Starting with these two side pockets. Now these pockets are interesting, and I like them and I don't like them at the same time. I like them because they're innovative and they can hold certain things. They have a certain functionality. This one being zippered and also using the same microfiber lining. I love that lining, it feels great. The zipper adds a little extra security and it's a great spot for your phone. My iPhone 13 slides very nicely in there. And because of the nature of this pocket, it's an easy slider arounder, which means you can grab whatever's in there. Zipper provides a bit of security. Yeah, I like this side pocket. Quick access stuff. You can put your phone in there, AirPods, wallet, keys, bus pass. This pocket's well done. But I don't love the opposite pocket as much because I think we have sort of a form versus function thing going on here. These pockets are very, very low and gives the bag its signature aesthetic, but this means you don't have a lot of space on this side for your water bottle, which is obviously, you know, what these pockets are typically designed for. Not the zippered one, but the other side. And you just don't have a lot of space for a water bottle. But we'll test that out when the bag is fully packed out in just a minute. Getting into the main compartment, we've got two zippers. These are lockable, and they are also PU coated. Now getting into the main compartment, you can see this is where most of the differences between V3 and V4 are. By the way, we'll show you all the differences between V3 and V4 at the end of the video. Got a bunch of EDC stuff right here. Let's pack it out. Love this pocket on the front flap. This uses like a Darlington stretchy mesh. Great spot for quick access to bulkier items like your very old hard drive. I need a new case. Oh my God, this thing has seen better days. Let's talk about these three pockets. I quite like them aesthetically and in theory. They each have a nice little pull tab and are using a very, not soft, but I'd say kind of still very nice fabric that feels not too scratchy. And then there's this zippered pocket behind it. Now pockets like this can be great for some tech stuff. You can throw your mouse in there, backup battery, backup headphones, maybe even some glasses. And then in the zippered pocket, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a book. If it fits, oh, it do. And we're at it on the top, I'll go ahead and put packable tote. So that's all the things that I need, right? I'm ready to go about my day. I got my portable office with me, and I'm stoked about it. Until I realize, crap, I gotta carry more stuff. And all this stuff has to go into the main compartment. And then when all this stuff is in the main compartment, first of all, wow, this is a very tight bag because of that padding. It's not a bad thing. Priorities, right? Non-padded bags are not gonna look this sexy. The padded bags, they are a bitch to pack. But anyways, I'm getting all my stuff in there. I'm packing the 15 liters of space. And it's like, nice, I am good to go. I got my portable office. Oh, that's right, I actually don't. Because everything in that area is blocked by this area. That's just a design feature that I don't really like on bags in general, where you have a heavily organized spot on the back of the main compartment, because typically your bag's gonna be packed and you're just not gonna be able to access that main compartment. Which is why I prefer if an admin compartment like that is in the front of the bag, which would require a completely different design. But think about like the Air City Pack. That's got a beautiful interior admin compartment in the front. So then your bulky stuff goes in the main compartment, smaller bits of gear go in the admin compartment, and that distribution just makes more sense to me. But let me know, am I being too judgmental? Am I not thinking about maybe y'all don't fully pack out your bags? Maybe you don't need fast access to it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. All right, let's fully pack this bag out again, because we gotta test them water bottle holders. So notice when the bag is fully packed out, the shape will warp a little bit, so the form factor can be compromised. Now for the water bottle holder, we've got 24-ounce Columbia. You can see it actually fits. You know what? I stand slightly corrected. The thing is, this water bottle holder comes in on a pretty dramatic angle. Like that's the cut, which means at the bottom of it, you have no space for your bottle to be secured, but there's enough at the top. The design does a really good job of keeping the bottle more on this side. But having said that, it still doesn't feel the most secure. Put the bag down. You can see that it might escape a little bit easier than you might want in your typical water bottle holder, and there's no securing mechanism. Actually, we could. If you had a carabiner, you have a little bit of an elastic expander right there, and you could potentially connect it in there, providing a bit more security. Last note for the middle, this top handle is great. A little tight, so if like quick grabbing access is important to you, you might not be able to slide your hand under there super fast, but it's very wide, very well padded, looks flush. It's a really nice top handle. Now, before we jump into the next section, I gotta let you know that if you're enjoying this review and you're somebody who really likes, high quality gear, or you like the idea of higher quality gear because you're probably somebody who's interested in growth and efficiency and optimizing your daily routine, then I wanna tell you that here at Nomads Nation, we don't just do epic gear reviews on our YouTube channel, but we also have the Nomads Nation newsletter. And in that newsletter, we take this whole gear thing to the next level, where I'm bringing to you on a weekly basis what the top drops are and ways that you can optimize your EDC travels and everything in between. So if you want to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in this incredible community, I'm talking the newest drops, limited edition collabs, industry trends, and access to our exclusive giveaways and discount codes, you're gonna want to sign up to the Nomads Nation newsletter, which you can do by finding this globe emoji in the description below. Hope to see you in your inbox. Let's talk about the back of the Troubadour Apex Backpack 4.0. Starting with the tech compartment, which I'm gonna be extra scrutinous, is that the right word? I'm gonna really check this out, because Wirecutter said it's the best laptop backpack. And it's not that I don't think that this is, but like, wow, there's a lot of great laptop backpacks out there. And picking this was fascinating to me. Not that I'm saying that Troubadour doesn't deserve it, there's a lot of competition out there. Troubadour claims on their site this can carry up to a 17-inch, which I have. Sliding that in, yeah, very impressive. For a bag this small to be able to fit a 17-inch so snug and cozily, that's very nice. But let's see how it holds a smaller laptop. I got my 13-inch MacBook Pro. Also very nice, slides right in. We're using a beautiful microfiber fabric right here. Scratch resistant, but still a little bit of grip, so then your laptop slowly descends into the pocket. Then we got a 13-inch tablet. Let's see if this fits in the tablet sleeve, and it absolutely does. A little tight in there, but it's organized. We've got a bit of a false bottom. Yeah, we got about 1/2 inch of elevation right here, which means if your bag does hit the ground, your laptop is less likely to be destroyed. And then one last protector that we have on this laptop compartment is this flap right here. Now this flap is a godsend in some ways and annoying as in other ways. Godsend because it can really help with weather resistance. I'm very interested though as to why Troubadour used PU coated zippers here and here, but if they were so concerned about weather resistance on the laptop compartment, why they didn't use PU coating there. That's interesting. That's the godsend though. This will definitely keep water out of the laptop compartment. But on the annoying as side is flaps like this can get just caught in zippers sometimes. Like it's always just kind of there. Yeah, that could be very irksome. We do have 2 zippers though that can be locked together for a little extra security and peace of mind. Moving on to the back panel. We've got a luggage pass-through holder, which as I said earlier, I'm quite a fan of. And the reason is it's integrated into the back panel. And the way that it's integrated, it's going to be very secure. The security refers to just all the reinforced stitching on either side. Some of these trolley sleeves, just like a little thin piece of nylon, a little flap. And I'm just so scared that every time I throw it over the sleeve, it's gonna pop out of place. This will certainly not do that. And then just as importantly, it allows you to keep your bag upright. So you can grab what you need super fast. And all the padding on the back panel is also very cozy. Nice amount of comfort, nice amount of airflow. I found this to be a very comfortable bag when I was testing it over the past few days. Now let's talk about the shoulder straps. I found them pretty comfy, but these are not my favorite shoulder straps that I've ever tested. But it depends what you like. For me, what I like in a shoulder strap is a bit of structure and a ton of comfort. So take a shoulder strap like this, for instance. You can see when you open it up, we've got EVA foam on the top, and then the PU foam here at the bottom. And that's the squishy, pillowy goodness that keeps your shoulders nice and cozy. This bag has, I assume, some of the pillowy foam, some PU foam. But you see the shoulder strap, how it's very, very structured? This shoulder strap lacks any of that. But it's also a preference thing. Like maybe you don't want this structured shoulder strap here. Maybe it's too thick for you. Maybe you like it a little bit thinner, but for me, it kind of feels like it's disintegrating into itself. It just doesn't feel strong. And for those reasons, it also kind of feels less comfortable. But what is comfy is we have these really nice cuts at the top. So the softer fabric on the inside is interacting with your skin, or at least your shirt, as opposed to the coarser nylon or Forda weave, or whatever the hell that is. And then we have this pocket here. Now, I think this pocket is an upgrade over Troubadour's last pocket on their Apex 3.0. But I also don't like shoulder strap pockets. And the reason I don't like shoulder strap pockets is I just think like in the world of bags, there's gimmicky features and shoulder strap pockets are usually one of those things. And the reason is you see somebody like on the video, like in the city, and it's like, hold on, let me pay for that by grabbing my phone from the quick access shoulder strap pocket. Beep, done, and let's just slide it back and gracefully move on. But that's not really how shoulder straps work because this bag is fully packed out. You got a lot of weight in here and the shoulder straps is where all that pressure is. So putting things in these pockets just doesn't always work, right? Like putting my phone in this pocket is bending around my body. There's like curvature going on, right? Versus a hard phone, it doesn't work very well together. The only ones, I mean, you know, what I'll say is this is a better one than their previous pocket on their shoulder strap, but still like, it's just like, now we're creating a very uncomfortable carrying experience. This bulky thing is just pressing against my shoulder. I don't even have the bag that packed out. You add a water bottle in here and a bit more tech gear, that's not gonna be too comfy. I guess it does depend on what you put in there though. If you just want it for like a credit card slot, that's significantly better. AirPods might work, but when you get into like your phone and stuff, not ideal, IMO, not ideal. 2 last points, we do have dangle stoppers at the bottom here, keeping dangle in its place and keeping no dangle Dan a happy camper. But we don't have a sternum strap that comes with the bag. You do have to pay extra for this, which is very interesting to me because I do like bags that say, hey, if you don't need this part, then no need to pay for it. So assuming that Troubadour was originally going to charge more money for the bag with the sternum strap, and then they said, wait, no, actually we'll charge less in case you don't want the sternum strap, then I'm cool with that deal. But I will say for me and my comfort preferences, sternum straps is like a must-have. Okay, let's jump into the overall pros and the cons of the Troubadour Apex 4.0. Pro number 1 has to be its unique and refined look. Pro number 2, I did find myself enjoying this quick access zippered pocket. And pro number 3, the tech compartment slaps. It's well protected, it's luxurious, it's easy to use, very nice tech compartment. I don't know if it's the best tech laptop backpack I've ever tested, but all bags have cons. Here are 3 of mine. Con number 1, I'm still not in love with this side water bottle holder. Con number 2 is the lack of access to all those pockets in the main compartment. And con number 3 is I just don't think the shoulder strap pocket really delivers. Now let's take these pros and these cons, mash them together, and give you my overall scores. Should be noted these scores are 100% personal, just based on my experience with the bag. Comfort, I give it a 2.5 out of 5. It's not meant to be a bad score, just sort of like average, middle of the road. Bad would be 0, excellent would be 5. It's, it's good, it's fine. For value, I actually give this bag a 4 out of 5. I think that they could have easily charged $350 for this, as it looks so refined and sophisticated, and I'm sure the bill of materials for this bag is pretty high. I don't think they're making a killer multiple on this, although I'm not 100% sure about the fabric, but more or less, like I think that if you're looking for a more refined looking bag, there's not a lot of options at a $250 price point, and you're getting some really nice materials and design choices, so value 4 out of 5. And for my overall score, I give it a 3 out of 5. I think it's an interesting bag that does some interesting things. Love the tech protection. I think the aesthetic is unique. Don't love a lot of the Axis stuff, but overall I can totally see it being the right bag for the right person. And if you're that person, and if you're still here, there's a good chance that you are, just a reminder, if you're gonna make a purchase, we do recommend doing so with the first link in the description below. Again, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and if we have any discount codes, that's what they'll be. Now real fast, let me run you through the changes that we were able to identify between V4 and V3 right here. Change number 1 is going to be in the main compartment. As you can see, the internal organization differs and the lining is different as well. I gotta say V4 wins across the board. Love the lighter color lining. Change number 2 is that on V3, the material on the bottom of the top handle was kind of rubbery and sticky, versus on V4 is a lot smoother while still having a little bit of squish to it. Change number 3 on V4, this side pocket has the zipper, but this side pocket did not. These pockets on V3 were both just kind of classic style, like dump, like water bottle sleeves. On V4, we have an updated luggage pass-through design. You can see this is what V3 looked like, and in my opinion, V4, much better. Next up on V3, the shoulder strap pocket used to be zippered and weird and annoying, but now on V4, it's not zippered, not weird, but still kind of annoying. And the last thing is, on V3, I hated this dangle situation going on with their hardware. This solution sucked. And on V4, they went to a more traditional solution. I think for all these changes, V4 absolutely wins. So job well done to Troubadour for making a better version of their bag. Okay, those are the changes. Now let's talk about the alternatives. First up, if you're new to the Nomads Nation channel, you should definitely watch our leaderboard rankings. This is where myself and the rest of the Nomads Nation team, we get together and pick our favorite bags in different bag categories, and we're bag nerds. In this office right now, there's around 700 bags, and we're constantly testing them, reviewing them, and talking about them. So this video is a great way to see what the best options are on the market. I've gone ahead and linked that above. But if we're close, with the Apex, but still a little far away, here's 2 that you might like better. First up is gonna be the Waterfield Shinjuku laptop backpack. Great pick for you if you're looking for a more refined and sophisticated aesthetic, but instead of the fake leather and the we don't know weave, you wanna go classy. You want that ballistic leather combo, or even classier with a wax canvas leather combo. Waterfield bags are definitely more expensive. They're made in USA. They just use higher quality materials, but God, their bags are awesome. And my second alt rec is gonna be the Modern Dayfarer backpack. Troubadour is from England, Modern Dayfarer is from Germany, so they both got that kind of like European, sophisticated vibe, but Modern Dayfarer is a bit more, got more meanness to it. And also some really interesting features, including its own shoe compartment, a little bit better quick access, and a little bit lower of a price point. Honestly, all 3 bags are awesome. You just gotta pick the best bag that suits your needs. And to learn more about the 2 alternatives, you can just go ahead and watch these videos here. If you got any questions about any bags, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.